The night was thick with tension, and the streets of Brooklyn pulsed with neon lights and the hum of passing cars. A lone black woman walked down the narrow alley, her stride calm but watchful, as if every shadow had a story to tell. She clutched her worn leather bag close, not because it was expensive, but because it held something far more valuable than anyone around her could imagine. To the world, she looked ordinary, a tired woman heading home, but in reality, she was anything but ordinary. Her name was Monica Hayes, and she was an undercover FBI agent on a mission that could either make her or break her. And tonight, fate was about to test her patience. As Monica passed beneath a flickering street lamp, a group of men stepped out from the darkness. They wore sagging jeans, oversized hoodies, and cocky smiles from ruling these streets for too long. Their leader, a tall gangster with tattoos crawling up his neck, blocked her path with a lazy grin. "Well, look what we got here," he sneered, circling her like a predator, sizing up prey. "A lonely little black girl in our territory. Ain't you scared?" The others chuckled cruelly, their voices echoing against the brick walls. Monica kept her face neutral, eyes calm, but inside her pulse was sharp and steady, like a soldier preparing for war. She had faced worse than street punks, but she could not blow her cover, not yet. One of the men leaned closer, eyeing her skin with mock disgust. "Damn, girl, you dark as midnight. You sure you ain't hiding the whole night sky in that skin of yours?" The group roared with laughter, high-fiving each other like it was the funniest thing they had ever said. Monica said nothing. She had heard insults like this before, but letting them slide was part of the mission. Anger would only expose her. Another thug reached for her bag. "What you got in here, huh? Makeup? Maybe some skin cream to lighten yourself up." He yanked it from her shoulder before she could resist. "Hey, Monica," snapped her voice sharp, but not enough to reveal who she really was. The gangsters unzipped the bag and peeked inside. To their eyes, it was nothing but a jumble of ordinary items, a wallet, a notebook, some lip gloss. They laughed again, tossing it between themselves like it was a game. But hidden beneath those normal things was a small encrypted drive containing classified intel evidence that could take down one of the biggest crime syndicates in New York. If they found it, the entire mission would collapse. The leader smirked, stepping close until his breath was hot against her ear. "See, girl, this is our world. You don't belong here. And if you want your little bag back, maybe you should beg for it." The others howled, chanting, "Beg, beg," as if the alley were their stage. Monica's eyes narrowed. She had spent months building her cover, and one wrong move could undo it all. But she also knew something they did not. Under her calm exterior was a storm, and when it broke, no street gang in Brooklyn would be able to withstand it. For now, she took a slow breath, forcing a trembling smile as if she were intimidated. She had to let them think they were in control just long enough. The gang's laughter bounced off the walls of the alley like a cruel soundtrack. Monica stood in the center, calm on the outside, storming on the inside. She watched her bag being tossed from one set of dirty hands to another. Every throw of it was a test of her patience. Every insult hurled at her was a spark on dry tinder. The leader, Rico, strutted like he owned the night. His gold chain glistened in the streetlight as he caught her bag and dangled it high above her head. "Come on, sweetheart," he taunted. "You want this. You gotta earn it. Maybe dance for us a little." The other gangsters howled, clapping and stomping their feet. Their eyes glinted with cruelty, feeding off each other's energy like vultures circling a carcass. Monica clenched her fists but forced herself to relax. She could not break character, not yet. Every second she endured was a calculated move in her mission. "Why don't you say something, huh?" one of them sneered, stepping close, his breath reeking of cheap liquor. "Cat got your tongue? Or you just too scared to speak, midnight girl?" Another flicked her shoulder like she was a toy. Maybe she mute Rico. A pretty little mute doll. Should we test if she screams? The words stabbed at her composure, but Monica kept her voice low, steady, almost soft. "I just want my bag back, that's all." Her calmness only fueled their cruelty. Rico threw his head back and laughed, tossing the bag to his right-hand man. "You hear that, boys? She just wants her bag back. Too bad. This is our street, our rules. Ain't nobody walking through here without paying respect." Respect? The irony almost made her laugh. These men thrived on fear, on breaking others down to build themselves up. Then Rico's eyes narrowed. "What's really in here, huh?" He dug deeper, pulling out her notebook. He flipped through the pages carelessly, not realizing the codes were surveillance logs. Monica's heart thudded. If he looked too closely, her cover would shatter. She needed a distraction. A police siren wailed faintly in the distance. The gang stiffened, exchanging wary glances. Rico smirked, masking his unease. "Looks like we got company. Guess we should make this quick." He shoved the notebook back, but kept the bag slung over his shoulder. "That's mine," Monica said firmly, her voice sharper now, breaking through her mask. The sudden edge in her tone caught them off guard. Silence settled in the alley. Rico tilted his head. Something about her calmness, her control, did not add up. "You got some nerve. Most girls be crying by now, but you different." Monica met his gaze without flinching. "Give it back, now." The men stirred uneasily. There was something in her eyes, something dangerous. Rico barked a laugh, snapping his fingers. Two of his men stepped forward, cracking their knuckles. The game was over. They were not going to mock her anymore. They were going to hurt her. What they did not know was that they had just triggered the part of Monica she had been holding back. She took a slow breath, centering herself. Her mission was at risk, but so were their lives. If they pushed her one step further, the woman they thought was a victim would show them exactly who she really was. The air in the alley thickened. The laughter was gone now. Two of Rico's men stepped forward, fists clenched, cruel grins fixed. To them, this was routine: intimidate, humiliate, break bones. But Monica Hayes did not flinch. For the first time, she let a hint of her real self bleed through. The taller thug lunged first, grabbing her arm, confident she would not resist. In one fluid motion, she twisted his wrist, shoved him off balance, and sent him crashing into the wall. The second rushed, swinging a heavy punch. Monica ducked low, swept his legs, and dropped him gasping onto the ground. The alley froze. Rico's smirk vanished. The rest of the gang stared wide-eyed, as if the script had flipped. Monica straightened her expression, unreadable. "I asked nicely. Now I am done asking." The thug staggered up, cradle in his wrist. "She ain't normal, Rico." Rico forced a laugh, masking unease. "Man, don't get soft on me. She just got lucky. Take her down." But his men hesitated. They had seen fear before. begging, crying, pleading. This woman was different. She was calculating. One muttered, "You're Rico. I don't like this. Something's off with her." Monica flicked her gaze at him, then back to Rico. "Smart kid, you should listen to him." Her words cut deeper than punches. Rico's pride flared. He tossed the bag on the ground between them. "All right, lady, you think you tough. Let's see how tough you are." He lunged, aiming a hook. Monica sidestepped, twisted his arm, and slammed him into the wall. Rico staggered. "What the hell are you?" Monica crouched, picked up her bag, and looked him dead in the eye. "I'm someone you should have never messed with." The younger thug stepped back. "Yo, Rico, I think we should bounce. This ain't worth it." Rico breathed hard, but his pride chained him. His men, shaken, their confidence cracked. Monica slung the bag over her shoulder. She could have walked away, but her mission was bigger. This gang was connected to something larger. She stepped closer, her voice low. "Tell your boss, Monica Hayes said hello." Rico's eyes widened. How did she know? Before he could recover, Monica turned and walked out, her silhouette swallowed by neon glow. Behind her, the gang stood stunned, their world tilted. They had wanted a victim. They had found a storm. The city swallowed Monica as she stepped out of the alley. She clutched her bag tightly. Inside it sat the encrypted drive carrying the fate of her mission. She replayed the confrontation in her head. She had exposed herself a little, but just enough to rattle them. Fear was a weapon. In the alley, Rico paced. She knew the boss's name. "You hear that? She said his name." "Man, she ain't normal. Nobody moves like that, unless they trained." Rico burned with pride, but unease gnawed at him. "Then we find out who she is. Nobody disrespects me like that." He pulled his phone. On the other end, Victor Malone answered. "This better be important, Rico." "It is boss," Rico said quick. "We ran into a woman, black, strong, fast. She knew your name." Silence. "Then describe her." Rico did stumbling. Malone paused, then cold. "Find her tonight. If she knows me, she's a threat, and threats don't live long." The line clicked dead. Back in the cafe, Monica sat scanning her notebook and encrypted drive. All of it pointed to Malone's syndicate kingpin, a ghost who controlled half the East Coast. Her job, dismantle his empire. Her phone buzzed. "Status check. Do you have the drive?" She typed, "Drive secured. Gang interference handled. They will lead me closer to Malone." Across the street, a shadow lingered too long. They were already looking for her. She leaned back, a faint smile tugging. They thought they were hunting her, but every step they took pulled them deeper into her web. Because Monica Hayes was not running from the storm. She was the storm. The night deepened. The city slowed. But Monica's pulse stayed sharp. From her cafe booth, she watched the street. She knew Rico's call had set things in motion. Malone would want answers. She opened a secure app. Initiating Phase 2. Possible contact with target imminent. She pulled a map tracing blocks near the cafe. Malone's men were organized. They would corner her. Perfect. She had a trap of her own. 2 blocks away, Rico prowled with his crew, restless and angry. "She's one woman," he barked. "We roll on her fast. She don't stand a chance." Jamal shook his head. "Nah, Rico, she wanted us to come after her. She ain't no regular chick." Rico snarled. "You scared now?" She embarrassed us. If we don't find her, Malone will bury us." They followed him, pride and fear, dragging them forward. Monica left the cafe, leaving a note under her cup. "Come closer." She wanted them to chase her. Pulling up her hood, she melted into the night. Rico's crew closed in. She moved deliberately, weaving alleys, each step calculated. Finally, she reached an old warehouse, graffiti-scarred windows, broken. She stepped inside, vanished into shadows. Moments later, Rico arrived. He spotted footprints. "She's here. Let's finish this." The warehouse echoed, too silent. A light flickered overhead. On the far wall, fresh spray paint read, "You're already mine." The crew froze, dread rising. From the shadows, Monica stepped forward, bag slung over shoulder, eyes like steel. "You boys wanted to hunt. Congratulations! You found me." The men tensed. But deep down, they knew. They were not hunters anymore. They were prey. The warehouse was silent except for shuffling sneakers on concrete. Dust hung in the air, lit by the swaying light. Rico and his crew circled Monica. "You should have walked away," she said evenly. "But now this is where it ends." Rico sneered, pulling a knife. "Lady, you don't scare me. We ready." Monica tilted her head. "You were never ready." One man charged, swinging a bat. She sidestepped, struck his ribs. He collapsed, gasping. Another swung a chain. She caught it, yanked him into a beam. He groaned on the ground. The rest hesitated. She fought like someone trained to end threats efficiently. Rico barked, "Don't just stand there. Take her down." But fear gnawed at him. This was not luck. Two rushed together. She flowed like water, elbow to one jaw, knee to another's gut. Both dropped. Only Rico and Jamal stood. Jamal's eyes wide, trembling. "Rico, I ain't doing this. She ain't normal. I'm out." Rico shoved him, coward. Jamal bolted out the door into the night. Now it was just Rico, his knife trembling. Monica stepped closer, shadow swallowing him. "You want to know who I am?" she said softly. Rico stammered, "What are you, FBI? CIA?" Monica smiled faintly. "Closer than you think." In one motion, she disarmed him, slammed him against the wall, her forearm at his throat. "You're going to deliver a message. Tell Victor Malone his time is up. Tell him Monica Hayes is coming." Rico choked. "He'll kill me." "No," Monica whispered. "If you don't deliver my message, I'll kill you first." She released him. He collapsed, coughing, scrambled, and fled. Monica stood alone in the warehouse, bodies of Rico's men scattered. She looked at her bag, then at the flickering light. The mission had shifted. She had revealed herself. Malone would know her name now. He would send more men. And that was exactly what she wanted. Because Monica Hayes was not here to survive. She was here to finish this war. As she walked into the city night, she knew the real game was about to begin. The storm was no longer coming. The storm was here.